Hello everybody, this is the introverted comedian. Welcome back to a new episode from the Exiled Lands, Conan Exiles. So, during the last live stream and episode, I was waiting to get myself some star metal from this area, from Skyfall Ridge. I even explored a little bit around the area. I didn't really have that much luck. I could only see one meteor shower and there was only one rock falling. And it was in such a bad position that I couldn't get it, so now I just have to wait some more. On the other hand, right next to the Mound of the Dead over here, I managed to start farming some Cimmerian berserkers. I'm starting to form an army. I decided to actually make myself a proper base around this area. Basically, one of the reasons why I decided to do so is because you can easily get to the volcano area. Also, there's an obelisk around this area, so you can teleport anytime and come back to your camp. More than that, you've got the star metal over here. If you need, you can also go visit the relic hunters. Again, you can also get yourself plenty of brimstone from over here. So yeah, it is quite far away from another part of the map I need to explore. It does seem like one of the best areas to actually start building your base, especially when you're the middle or end game part. So yeah, that would be good. Also, there's plenty of stone over here, there's plenty of trees. You can always farm these guys at the Mounds of the Dead. I will also get some more accursed berserkers, in case you are wondering how to get one. As I said, they're here down under the Mounds of the Dead. So usually there's one of them over here. They can also spawn inside the camp at random instead of other fighters. But this one is guaranteed. So if you have at least a steel truncheon, you should make it easy for yourself at knocking them down. I do have my truncheon from the current event, so it's even easier for me to knock one down. Yeah, so there you go. If you actually have your camp around this area, and you don't even need to have a big camp, you can actually have something like I do right now. A couple of things here, a couple of things there. Basically, if you need trowels, the most important is the Wheel of Pain. You can actually farm yourself quite a decent amount of berserkers. Yeah. Speaking of, I was actually trying to get myself some decent ones. Again, I'm not so lucky. Basically, the main issue when it comes to the ones I keep getting is their growth chances. Let's see, this one, not bad, but not so good. Yeah, so basically, so far I have this one with 85 growth chances in strength and 65 in vitality. And this one's a bit better with 95 in strength. So I will keep on farming them until I actually have two of them that are good. Again, these are not to be considered weak or something like that, but they just don't measure up. Yeah, so up here there's also Stargazer's Crest, small encampment of the Forgotten Clan. So Usually over here you are going to find one warrior and one crafter, or sometimes it can be a taskmaster. Both of them are random. Sometimes it can be tier 1, tier 2, or it can be tier 3 or tier 4. So you just need to make sure before you start trying to kill them that you don't need them. In my case, I already have an armorer, so I don't need this guy. And when it comes to the fighters, since I can easily farm the berserkers, there's no point in messing around with tier 3 fighters. Okay. Now, one of the good things about this location is that you are going to have this loot chest with at least one piece of hard metal, either weapon or tools. Sometimes it can be 2, sometimes it can be 3, like it was now. Now, the reason why this is good is because hardened steel is not necessarily easy to get. So basically in this area is not that bad, to be fair, because you can get lots of black ice. In fact, I will go and get some after I get the next berserker. You can get lots of black ice from over here, Skyfall Ridge, or if you want you can go even further down this area. It will be a little bit more dangerous. Yeah, so also there are a lot of iron deposits in the area. So there we go. I'm just gonna show you in a few seconds. I actually managed to harvest all of these in one go. So basically I got myself plenty of iron, plenty of stone for bricks. So now I just need some brimstone, which, as I said, you can easily get from here, a location that is not so far. And tar, you can always just get your tannery working. Yeah, so again, I'm just gonna get myself another berserker. Basically, at the moment, I'm looking to build 2 strong thralls and level them up to 20, hoping that they have high chances on both strength and vitality. Yeah, the reason why I'm running a little bit is because I don't want to be in the exact area where he spawns. Sometimes they can end up killing you. I'm not really that worried since I pretty much have a really good armor, so he shouldn't be able to kill me. But for example, if I die over here, since I already have a bedroll in the area, I can quickly respawn, come back to my body and get back my belongings. If I died in the area where he spawns, being all naked would give him a chance to make me respawn again, to say it's in a nice way. Okay, so since I'm going up the mountain, I'm gonna take these guys with me because they can carry a little bit. I will also take some spiced food. Usually, even when you have a good armor, it can be too cold out there. So once again, the place where I am going right now to get my black ice is also the place where you can get star metal once the meteor shower happens. Okay, let's see. Oh. Okay, so as you can see, even a tier 3 fighter can actually do quite a bit of damage to you.
Will drink your blood.
Even while wearing really good armor. On the other hand, sometimes they can drop some armor pieces, and that's great for you. Again, decent tools over here. So, as I mentioned earlier, there is plenty of iron deposits you can actually mine over here. So that's a huge advantage. There are also a couple of coal deposits over here and over there. Unless you want to dry yourself some wood. Usually if I'm new in the area and I don't have a dryer already, then I'm going for the coal. If I get a chance to dry some wood, I'm going for that. Yeah, so as I said, you need to go up this ridge, up Skyfall Ridge. Now, with some armors, it's going to be freezing. This one is decent enough. I'm only getting very cold, so it's kind of an advantage for me. There are better armors that will protect you. Yeah, so usually in this area you're just gonna have some of these annoying goats. Now over there where you can find the black ice, there's some ice and black ice rock noses. Remember, the best solution to play around with them is to use maces, or if you don't feel like fighting them, you can just leave your friends, your followers to do it. So I can see that this time it's not spawning. Sometimes, if you want, you can have a look around my previous live stream. There's blood crystal golem spawning over here. There's nothing to worry about. He's just a giant, not necessarily a very strong one. So again, when it comes to ice, you've got the normal one, and you've got this one, which is a lot darker, as you can see by comparison. Yeah, so when you're getting your black ice, you're also getting normal ice, unless you need it for like some provision box or something like that. There's no point in keeping it. Yeah, so there we go. My friend decided to actually join us. Yeah. Now these guys are nice to have around. As you can see, they don't really bother attacking you too much. Especially if you have two crazy followers, that will keep them at bay. And the good thing about them, you can actually get a decent amount of blood crystal. That's something you will need later. I said, one of the good things about these guys is that they can actually be used as carriers, bearers for you. Since there's not that many deposits, you don't need to actually bring a bearer. One or two normal prowls would do the job. So I'm just gonna quickly go over this area, over to that area, so I can get a little bit more black ice. Usually if you go up on the mountain ridges, there's not that strong opponents, so you can quickly move around. Just remember, if that very cold turns into frostbite, you just need to consume some spiced food. As you can see, I'm already warming up, and the cold level went down to simply cold instead of very cold. So if I wasn't wearing decent armor and I wouldn't use that food, I would have probably gotten frostbite. Now, frostbite can be survived. The issue is it will cause quite a lot of damage over time. So you will need to have plenty of these. If not, you might not survive. So there wouldn't actually be a point to come over here. If you cannot survive, to go back with the goods. Yeah, so just around this area there should be a couple more deposits of black ice. Again, they will be guarded by some ice rock noses.
Your heart will be eaten. York will have your soul.
The best way not to be interrupted when you're farming your black ice is to kill these guys.
Your heart will be eaten.
Okay, again, if you look at the deposits, you will see that one is normal ice. It's quite light when it comes to its color. These are darker. So you will get the black ice. Yeah, so fortunately, as I've shown in the previous live stream and also a little bit earlier, there are some metals that need black ice, such as hardened steel or star metal. Fortunately, if you go around Stargazer's Crest, or if you want to start ending the lives of all the enemies inside the Mounds of the Dead, then you can get yourself a lot of items that can then be recycled into star metal bars or hardened steel bars. Sorry, I was just looking on top of that mountain on the peak. There's lots of black ice. Honestly, I wouldn't climb up there. There's too many chances of something going wrong, so I'd rather take my time, wait until the deposits respawn, and then come back. Unless, of course, you are playing on a server online, and that's where you actually need to use every resource you can find. before someone else gets it. Of course, you can always share. So, still not lucky about that meteor shower. Yeah, one thing I managed to check and finally have clear about the predatory blade. This one, as you can see, has a huge health damage, but that damage only applies when it's a light attack, so it actually makes it not so good in some cases. If the attack is heavy, then it only does 1 damage, so it's not something I would actually use. I'm only leaving it on my troll before I'm finding some better legendary weapon. I will start doing some farming on those as well. But as I said, first I also need some decent trowels, and I need to grow them up. And once all of that is ready, I will start going after dungeons where you can actually find more legendary chests at the same time. Also after some world bosses, because those legendary chests are not going to be that easy to open. You need a skeleton key for them. So again, this playthrough, I am trying to take it slow, or as slow as possible, in order to make it easier for new players to understand what they can use to their advantage, and how they can actually craft some of the things themselves instead of recycling. If you're an experimented player, then recycling is basically one of the best chances you have. You can come in early game and kill a couple of these guys, get yourself, as you can see, some decent weapons, some decent armor, decent tools from over here, and a bow, and then you can pretty much rule the entire map. Now again, when it comes to the Cimmerian Steel set, most of the Forgotten clan members will drop them. I think sometimes even the crafters do. So if you want, you can add them to your trolls like I did with this one. If not, you just need yourself a dismantling bench and drop everything in here. Including the weapons. As you can see, I've already farmed a couple of them. Now, it's not a huge quantity, but it is 12 pieces, which you can then use for something else. Okay, so let's see. I'm not using that one anymore because I have the big one. If you have a huge furnace, like I have this one, the heat efficient, as you can see, it will quickly do the job for you. Yeah, so I'm just gonna leave these guys over here. That black ice will actually take quite a long time to respawn, so I don't need to care about it. As you can see, I already got a pretty decent amount, so I really don't have to stress about it. Since I'm not going up there, I don't need that. Okay, so it looks like I actually emptied this. I need to check on these guys. Again, not good. Or better said, not good for what I need. Same goes for this one. This one is even worse. The good side is that I actually have a pretty decent army. So, not bad. Okay. At this point I might actually give up on having someone with both high growth chances and vitality and strength. I do have one of them that's excellent when it comes to strength. So this is one serious candidate to become my active follower. I still need one that at least has higher chances of getting some HP. Hello, my friend. How are you? Yeah, so if you're not doing what I'm doing now, which is farming them for follower converting, you can always just come and kill these guys. Usually they drop at least one piece of armor. Sometimes they drop some weapon, some star metal weapon, so they can actually be quite valuable. Yeah, so once again, I am still waiting. Yeah, so I've actually done some research before starting the live stream. The meteors are basically coming at random. It's going to be something called a cycle, which happens every 30 minutes. But the chance of actually getting meteors is not 100%. It's quite lower than that. I think it was 75 or something like that. Also, if you do get the meteors, it's going to be something that spreads, that shower will spread around this area. So sometimes they might be in some inaccessible areas. And on top of that, it's not always the same amount. Sometimes it can be 5, sometimes it can be 7, sometimes it can be 10, sometimes it can be up to 15. So expect between 5 and 15. It's not necessarily good or bad. Oh, there we go. There we go. Finally, so I finally have a decent one. I don't even want to play with those guys anymore. I just need to get back. When it comes to meteors, unfortunately, you cannot farm them straight away. Apparently, I did some sort of magic and summoned them. Yeah, so you will actually need a bow. It doesn't matter what kind of bow, but you do need these, the explosive arrows, which will break the outer shell. So there we go. Again, since I am going on the mountain, I do need some of this. And I will also take my friends over here. Yeah, so from what I could see, some of them actually fell in quite some accessible areas. I might not even have to go all the way up. I will try to farm as many of them as possible. Because basically I already have a star metal pickaxe. And I can also, it's enhanced. It has improvements to get the maximum amount for me, which actually makes it worth it. Because basically now I should be able to farm quite a good amount in order not to have to farm for quite a while. Okay, I think I can see one over there at the top. I was hoping one of them might have fallen over here. I'm not that lucky. Okay, so there's definitely one over there. Again, there will be some goats around here. If you want some peace and quiet, you can just simply make them disappear. Okay, so this is annoying again. As I said, they do have this strange way of falling. As you can see, this one is over here. And they have that outer shell. I think the weather is not actually allowing me to see it very well. It's usually golden. But once you crack it open with an explosive arrow, you can see it. Now the issue with that one is it's in a really, really bad position. Now, in order to sort that out, again, there's another really badly placed one over there, but there's a really good placed one over there. Yeah, so in order to deal with the bad placement issue, if it's not way too high, you can actually allow yourself to fall on it. Okay, then you can harvest it. Just make sure to be ready to grab onto the mountain. And there we go.
Yep.
Yeah, so I am actually very, very happy about this. I was annoyed because last time I actually waited in this area for quite a long time. I wasn't able to get anything. And now I can finally get some. Again, that one over there at the top is at a quite annoying place, but this one over here, and you can see better now, it's I think it's a bit different from the ones you can find on Sipta. Those seem more metallic at the outer layer. But there we go. Now, just to show you, if you try to harvest the thing, it won't work. So you really need those arrows. I've already shown in one of the previous live streams how you can get them. Basically, you will need some dragon powder. You need some iron head arrows, and if I remember well, some tar and some feathers, I think. So it's not necessarily so easy to get them, but not very hard. Again, I think there was one of those star metal pieces around here. Or maybe not. Anyway, let's see. So you can have a look around the area if you're still looking for more. I already know where another one is. Just need to find a better suited position to get it. And from what I've seen this time, actually plenty of them fell. So some of them should be down there as well. I don't remember exactly because, as I said, there's two ways of actually getting star metal, which is one of the end game metals. One of them is to farm it, as I am now, and the second one is to actually farm the Forgotten Clan, the Cimmerians, and if they drop enough weapons, then you don't need to worry about it. Yeah, so this is, if I'm not wrong, the third one. So the amounts are quite decent. Sadly. They only come in 100 pieces per batch, so it can be annoying to transport them. You might actually need a bearer for these in order not to get encumbered. Let's see, I think I saw another one around this area. Yeah, it's over there. You see? I didn't actually mean to do that. I was hoping not to fall that far. Again, find yourself a stable place. Smash that outer layer. Then make sure you land on top of it. Okay, so this one is not so hard to get. Or maybe it is. Yeah, so unlike other deposits of iron or stone or something like that, these actually have a lot of hits. You need to hit them quite a lot of times, and they carry much more. So this is why it's not so bad to farm them. Because if they had the same amount, like 3 hits, you would finish the deposit, and it would always be like 6 or 7 or how many you can find. It would probably drive everyone crazy. It is a rare resource, but it shouldn't be that ultra rare, to be fair. Okay, let's have a look over here. I said there might be some over there, but honestly I have a decent amount already. So I'm not sure if I want more just yet. Not to mention that I do need other resources as well in order to craft them. Okay, so I don't think they actually reached all the way out here. Probably a lot of them might have ended down there. Yeah, so I already have nearly 1000. There's 400 more held by these guys. So that's enough for me right now. Not to mention I'm going after the Forgotten Clan. I'm gonna play with them a little bit. I want to visit the Mounds of the Dead better. There are a couple of things you can unlock while visiting their encampment. If you want, you can also farm them and make them trolls. But honestly, I'm not inclined to go after crafters over here, because even the crafters can hit pretty well, and you might have to kill them, especially if they're tier 4, they do hit even better, so you might end up killing them before you can actually knock them down. Okay. Yeah, so I'm honestly quite happy. Oh, there we go. There's another one over there. So now I'm even happier. Don't even know how I missed that one, because it's quite low. Yeah, so a good thing, you can actually climb most surfaces in the game. You just need to make sure that you're not falling. You're in a stable place. Get some distance. Load it. Harvest it. Yeah, so basically right now I'm getting a high amount due to the fact that I am using 2 of the perks in expertise. I'm using efficient harvest, which actually grants me twice as many resources on the last hit. And I'm also using the hard worker, which actually gets the amount of resources I would get into hits. It gets it in 1 hit, so that's quite useful to actually take care of the durability of your tools. Let's have a quick look. So basically that's enough, as I said earlier. Now on my way back, I can actually drop by these guys and see if they can drop something decent. Now if you want, you can actually use the explosive arrows on them. They don't deal an extreme amount of damage, but it's also not bad.
Your soul.
I forgot I didn't have the torch on. Again, I actually got myself some star metal things. Now, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm not, the star metal shield is actually better than this one, but it doesn't really have that much durability yet. I need some pieces to fix it. Okay, so as I said, sometimes it can only be one piece of hardened steel over here. Equipment, either the bow or a tool. It's not always 2 or 3. At some point there used to be some legendary pieces of equipment. Those could actually be turned into star metal. That was a lot better, but I have to be happy with what I'm getting. Again, you can simply recycle these. Oh, and also another detail I forgot. If you have legendary bows or legendary weapons, they can also be turned into star metal bars. But my advice is, if you actually want to do it, wait until they have very, very low durability. Otherwise, it's a waste. Okay, so this can stay over here, this can stay over here. Now, as I said, when it comes to star metal, you will need star metal ore. You will also black ice, and you also need brimstone. So let's see. I don't remember exactly how many resources it takes. Yeah, so basically 2 star metal, 1 black ice, and 1 brimstone, which means I will actually have to get myself a lot more brimstone. But at least I sorted out a big issue. Okay, you stay over here, you stay over here. Okay, so that's 500 already going. This is 250. Yeah, I'm not necessarily happy with the amount I will be getting. I will get around 700, I think. If I add these and whatever else I will get, then it's not such a bad amount. Also, when I'm using star metal to craft the tools, I will be using garrison armor, garrison blacksmith bench, which actually saves quite a few resources. Hello, my friend. How are you? So again, these guys are not necessarily so bad to take down. Yeah, so I did mention before, you will need quite a decent truncheon to knock them down. Of course, if you want to do it fast, I think the steel one, which is the best one you can unlock with the standard knowledge. Let's see. Yeah, so basically, once you unlock the Greater Wheel of Pain, you unlock the Steel Truncheon. So that one, if you actually unlock it, it's great, but it's not as good as one of these. In fact, since this one is very new to me, I'm not exactly sure on the amount of concussive damage. But it's been impressive since I got it, so there's nothing else I can say. Again, let's test one of these guys. Okay, now this one is actually wonderful. 85 and 85 when it comes to strength and vitality. I just need to figure out what exactly he should eat. Because basically, if you're using certain items for their diet, they will grow their chances. So basically, I am looking for something that will increase both of them. I know for sure that if you are using gruel, it's going to increase their chances of gaining strength by 14%. If you are using cooked steaks, it's going to increase their chances in vitality but by 14%. I also know there are a couple of other foods that can increase each of them by 7%. Okay, so apparently exquisite stew or exotic feast. Yeah. So this is not very good for me. Let's see. Since I do need to cook them. That's bad. So basically I need a stove for them. In order to get a stove I need iron reinforcement or something like that. It's not okay for me. This one will actually take quite some time. But I actually have a better idea. And now it's going to take a lot less time. Okay, so now I actually have a problem. I need to start moving some of my things from the old camp to this one. Start placing some structures. That is quite far away. Yeah. Okay, so these guys are going to donate everything they have. Fortunately, the berserkers already have some decent weapons, so in order for these guys not to be completely defenseless, they will receive them. Okay. Yeah, so at the moment I'm just going with Gruel for both of them. Again, the gear I'm going with when it comes to my trolls, it's strength damage bonus as much as possible. Fortunately, I already have a tier 4 armorer, so he made sure that the bonuses are the maximum possible. Now, these guys were nice enough to grow, but fortunately they're just not strong enough. Okay, so I will take some of these to my other camp. Yeah, so as I mentioned before, you can actually have up to 3 followers. 2 of them, which are the human ones or fighters, I can get through this, through authority, because I've unlocked the maximum level and I've selected war party. And the horse will always, or rhino, any mount basically, will be there as well. Let's see. I need some food for myself on the road. Yeah, so I was actually quite lucky to get those so fast. Now basically I do want to go through here, get myself over here, and then when I'm coming back I will pass through here and get back over here. On the way I might as well play a little bit with some enemies, because these guys are ready to start growing. Usually around this area there should be, and there we go, there's some ghouls. I've already heard one around. Yo, friend, you want to play?
Your death will be as meaningless as your life.
Yeah, so basically they work the same as the skeletons. If you have a mace, they will actually die easier. Okay, so Mr. Horse over here is quite good when it comes to speed. Unfortunately, his stamina always stays the same, so that's one of the not so useful parts. Fortunately, it does seem to come back quickly. Yeah, so basically you can always run around the map if you want to, but if you do have a mount, it would be a waste not to use it, especially since they're quite decent when it comes to carrying things. They do have 10 inventory slots, and there is no actual weight limit they can carry. They also have pretty much high HP, so in case something attacks them, like it just happened, they are able to take quite a lot of damage. Still, you don't want to just mess around and have them killed. After all, you don't want them to help you, especially if they're already carrying lots of items. So they're also easier to fit in through spaces, unlike the rhinos. I used to actually prefer the rhinos, but now I'm actually more interested in the horses, since they're doing a much better job. You just need to be careful when it comes to places like it was before. If you and them take too much fall damage, you will get unmounted. Yeah, you can also jump with them if you need to go over some obstacles. I forgot to mention this before. They can also trample some enemies to death. Okay, so apparently these guys are already starting to gain levels. I'll just have to take them in some area where they can level up a little bit. And I do have the perfect idea for it. Okay, so even the horse decided to level up. That's good for me. So, honestly, I didn't really use mounts on this map before. I found it a bit difficult in some cases, but I don't know if I simply got better at it or what happened, but it looks like it's quite useful to have a horse around. I'm not that happy about the rhino. It does have more stamina, but it's simply not doing the job as well as the horse is. If it was actually doing something a lot more important, then I would understand, but it's basically the same thing. The rhino will use its horn to damage some enemies, the horse will trample them. They both have the same inventory spaces, but it just seems like it's a lot faster with the horse. Now, there used to be a way to have camels as mounts. You can still have camels. For some reason, the camel I managed to turn into my follower. It decided not to become a mount. I'm not sure if they're still available as mounts. Okay, Mr. Horse. Stay over here. Yeah, so basically this one actually has the settings of a fighter. On the other hand, the mounts have only the behavior distance setting, so that's one of the things. Also, when it comes to these guys that have that saddle slot, the camel apparently doesn't. Okay, now I did forget to adjust these guys on offensive and not to go too far. So actually, before leaving this place, I will need to go farm some things for them. I really want a decent legendary mace, both for myself and for my trolls, or at least one of them. I really need to change that predatory blade. I'm not happy with it. Now let's see. Okay, so as I mentioned before, if you want to craft explosive arrows, you need this, the dragon powder. Let's see where it was. So you need one iron head arrow, 3 pieces of tar, one dragon powder, and 3 feathers. Now when it comes to dragon powder, it's not necessarily easy to make, but it's not so hard to make either. There we go. You will need 1 demon blood. Sometimes you can easily get this by killing some demonic snakes over here or other creatures. Then you will need brimstone. Again, the best 2 places is one of them over here at the Shattered Springs, but for that one you actually need gas protection headpiece, like the Sunstorm breathing mask. And the second place is inside Sinner's Refuge. It doesn't have as many deposits as you can find over here, so won't be able to have the same quantity, but if you have one of these, star metal pickaxe, and you have the base somewhere in this area and don't want to go there, this is actually not bad. You will get quite a decent amount. I think you could get like 1,500, something like that, with the star metal pickaxe, of course. Okay, and what else? Okay, so steel fire. Yeah, so actually you will need more tar and more brimstone, even to get the steel fire. As you can see, quantity is quite high, and this is on an improved fireball cauldron. So it could be even higher if you're using the normal cauldron. But you can also craft the precision one, and that will reduce the resources even further. And something that used to be easy to get, but now it's kind of hard, the crystals. It used to be easy because you could harvest it with a pickaxe, and I'm gonna show you pretty soon a location where you can get it from. But now you actually need to harvest it by hand, or if you unlock enough spells, one of them will allow you to harvest that. Let me see, I can actually go 1 level higher. I'm hoping to get it soon. I don't remember how many levels in the Tome of Kurak I need, the book on the table, actually get the spell. And yeah, this is it, the mass bow. That's actually perfect now. Okay, now remember, you will gain some corruption once you once you upgrade the tome, you will gain some corruption, so make sure to remove it. Okay, again I need lots of one blood, not right now. Yep, so as I said, my next step is to go get some crystals and some legendary weapons, and this is one of the places where you can easily farm them both at the same time. Okay, so I do have some legendary weapons, but I'm looking for some maces. These won't just do. Now let's see. Okay, so I just need to see exactly what I need in order to perform that mass call. It should be here. Yeah, so sometimes you will actually need certain levels of corruption in order to actually perform something. Let's see, the best way to actually know how a spell looks like is to come over here and mass cool. Interesting symbol. And so as you can see, it does say here that you can harvest and recall minerals in an area. So that's why it's so useful.
Vegas.
Okay, so I'm starting to think that I actually need some corruption in order to perform it. I'm not really happy about it. Yeah. If I'm not wrong, it's actually this one. Basically, I need 20% extra corruption, and I'm not really keen on doing that. So, bye-bye, Mr. Arcane stuff. Okay. Now I can still go for that cave. I just want to go with the spell. Okay, so these guys are quite tough. As I mentioned before, over here in this cave you can actually find a world boss. It's a giant crocodile. If you want, you can mark it on your map like I am right now, and you will know. YouTube. Okay, so right now I wanted to come over here because most of the time one of my followers decides to go inside the sand. So fortunately these guys are quite tough, and as you can see they deal quite good damage. Also they're not taking damage, so they do have quite good armor, but even so they're not taking damage that easily. And he actually dropped decent resources, but what was I really after was this skeleton key, which actually allows me to open legendary chests. Hello, my friend, how are you? Yeah, so killing a couple of crocodiles on the way there is not such a bad idea, because these guys need as much experience as possible. So, honestly, this live stream is going a lot better than I initially set up for. As I mentioned during the last one, I had lots of issues with actually getting those meteors to come in a decent amount so I can actually get them, or if they did come, they were just in places that I couldn't reach, so again it was useless. But now I was able to get them quickly. I can start farming some weapons for these guys to actually raise them. If they were a little bit stronger, then I would have visited the Mounds of the Dead. But as I mentioned before, the Mounds of the Dead are a little bit dangerous, since all the Cimmerians, the members of the Forgotten Tribe, deal quite a lot of damage. So, as I said, this is annoying because you need to gather by hand, but I don't really have a place to gain that much corruption quickly. I think there are some corrupting brews you can brew. If I'm not mistaken, I should have unlocked one. Let's see. Yeah, so there is a corruption brew. Well, there are a few other methods, but I'm just not bothered with it. Now there is an additional method of getting crystals. You can go around and kill some bearers, and you can take their belongings after they die. It's going to be called supply materials, and once you get those, you can actually have a chance of finding big amounts of crystals, saving you quite a lot of time. Now, as I said, if you do want to get corrupted, you want a huge quantity of crystals, and you can use that mass call spell. Look at this place, for example. It will affect the entire area, quite a wide area, so you don't have to grab them like I am. But to be honest, you can find most of the resources. For example, dragon powder, you can get it a lot easier by going to the main city and killing some of the bosses, and they will simply drop it. Now, speaking of bosses, as I said, one of the reasons why I came over here is to play with one. Now, this is my favorite place until I get some skeleton keys. Because usually you have the boss over here. And there's one chest, legendary chest next to the boss. And you basically get one key, one weapon, or one shield, or one bow. If you do have the time to farm a few bosses, then you can go into a dungeon and get oopsie. And if you go to the dungeon, you will actually get a few loot chests, legendary loot chests at the same time. Now, if you want to get corrupted, you can always stand when this guy is doing the attack, but to get to that 20% it will be quite hard. Again, it looks like these boys are going to have a walk on the map. Yeah, they are doing quite a decent job. They're barely getting damaged and they're damaging the enemy quite a lot. So they are definitely better than the previous active followers that I had. Okay, so they did get some level up. Not so happy about their HP, to be honest. Doesn't seem to be evolving that well. Yeah, it barely moved, but on the other hand, they're getting quite strong. That's a huge advantage for me. Yeah, so once again, key, skeleton key. This is quite annoying. At this point I might as well go into the unnamed city and kill a couple of bosses over there. Maybe I can find what I'm looking for with them. Now, sadly about the bosses in the unnamed city, they don't drop skeleton keys, but they will drop some weapon, legendary, or some piece of armor or something like that, so it kind of makes sense that they don't also drop the key. Still, they are very useful. That's how I got well, I don't have actually any of the items I got on myself. I got the predatory blade for this one for my troll, so maybe I'm lucky to get something similar. Not to mention I can quickly level them up, and then some time will pass. I can come back to this cave. Hopefully I'll have more luck at that point. So they do have decent HP though. If you want, you can also use some gear with HP bonus like I'm using for myself. But as you can see, that bonus is quite small and it wouldn't actually improve them by a lot. This is why I prefer to have that Strength bonus damage. Again, while they are not hard to defeat, the spiders are quite good when it comes to giving you experience points, so don't be afraid to kill them. Now, since I am level 60, I don't need it for myself, but these guys wouldn't mind some extra. Okay, once again, the most annoying creature in the game. If you get close to one, it seems like it wants to chase you to the end of the world. Like I don't know, it's... Make a comparison, whenever I meet that guy, I feel like I just did something bad to John Wick's dog. And I'm gonna pay for it, so I just don't want to meet him. He's not dangerous, but he's simply way too much into killing me. Now again, as the game mentions, when you first started, all roads, whether it's the Slave Road, the Imperial Highway, and there are a couple more other roads, they all lead to the same destination, which is the unnamed city. I've visited this guy before. He is a treasure hunter, Gilzan.
Good day, noble.
You can talk to him and learn the bounty mode from him.
A lot of things here don't add up. First, a lot of
Yeah, my advice before coming to the unnamed city, make sure you have your Sunstorm breeding mask. The reason why you want to have it is because this is basically where the Sunstorm starts. So it's always affected by it, unlike other places on the map. And it will basically make you get damage over time as long as you're inside it. Again, as you can see, these guys can drop quite nice items for how easy they are to be defeated. The fact that they are using swords is a bit annoying, because usually that adds crippling effect on you, making it easier to move and easier to finish off the fights. But again, it's not so bad. Okay, so these two need to level up a little bit by killing skeletons, and then we'll go for our first boss. Okay, so apparently I'm the most wanted person in this place. Usually your trolls can get them a perk to attract the enemies instead of you being the one who's targeted. Apparently sometimes it doesn't work. Yeah, so this is it. irritate enemies, you will actually need the 5 points you vested in authority to get that perk, Irritate. But then again, it is a chance, not a guarantee. Okay, now over here you've got the Relic Hunters. These are also quite strong fighters. If you want, you can knock them down and turn them into your trolls. They also have a mini boss over there, their leader. There's actually 5 camps all around the unnamed city. If you want, I actually have a video dedicated especially to them. If you want to learn more what they can actually be used for and where exactly those camps are. So this is one thing these guys are annoying for. Your troll does not have their weapon out. Okay, so I know for sure this one had something in its inventory and it's gone. I actually already took it, so yeah, that makes sense. Again, when fighting on ledges, make sure not to fall. It's not always a happy trip down there. So, if you actually have some decent followers, you can attract multiple enemies at the same time and just smash your way through them. As long as your followers have enough food, they will be able to easily survive. You can do it in a cautious way, but it's not necessary. Yeah, so earlier I mentioned demon blood. Sometimes it can be a drop from these guys, so again, you can easily get rare resources over here.
Don't let me hurt you, wanderer.
Okay, this one is actually worth it. Now it's time to test the hard-working berserkers on a boss of the unnamed city. Mr. Keeper of the Flame. Make it more easier for them to do their job. You can just take care of these guys. Yeah, so at the beginning of the video I did have some cows with me and I left them back here by camp. Sadly, last time when I fought this guy, they were quite well leveled up, above 10 or something like that, but they were barely dealing damage and they were using the same gear. weapons, so having the berserkers is a major upgrade. If you want, since they're doing such a good job, you can do some looting. Apparently nothing valuable over here, so you don't need to do the looting. Okay, let's see, I actually have a decent war axe. Yeah, so this guy is actually one of the reasons why I want to get the maces, legendary ones, both for myself and my trolls, because he would actually die a lot faster. Let's see. Okay, so I'm not that impressed, to be honest. Okay, so this one is actually not bad. As you can see, it does have the same effect as this one, the gas protection. It's a medium piece of armor. It's going to be heavier, but since it's a legendary piece, it does have a huge amount compared to the Sunstorm breeding mask. So I can actually use it later. It's not such a big difference in weight. So I'll just wait until I get back to my camp. I'll add one of those extra layers and make it even better. Come on guys, we're busy. Okay, so since this is one of the best places to level these guys up, might as well take advantage of that. Again, what resources you want is your choice. You don't have to take the same that I'm taking from them. If you don't want to take any resources and you're here just to level up your thralls, you can also do that. So usually I wouldn't go for these many enemies so easily, but the berserkers are actually worth it. Fighting so many at the same time, they will deliver. Okay, so now it's time for another boss after I finish with this little guy. This is Mr. Brute over here. He actually dropped that predatory blade, and more than that, he dropped this wonderful piece of equipment, the Helm of the Brute. If I could get a second one, it would be perfect. They are quite good for your trolls. They will lower the armor a little bit since it's going from heavy to medium, but that extra damage is definitely worth it. Again, these two are simply doing a lot more damage than my previous trolls, and they're not even level 10. Not to mention, they're actually tanking all the attacks. So, I did mention this quite some time before when I started this playthrough. Your followers can actually be a major part of the game. Okay, so, as I mentioned before, sadly this guy is not dropping skeleton keys. Yeah, so, well, I did have some strong trolls before. As you can see, if you upgrade them to even better ones, then you can easily get away with killing decent world bosses. These are not necessarily the strongest ones, so that's why I'm calling them decent. We will soon test some more. Okay, that's a nice damage they're doing. Predatory blade is still annoying as it is, but not bad. Yeah, so this is a good chance for me to actually get some leather. And as I mentioned earlier, you can get some decent amounts of demon blood from here. I don't really need the dragon bones anymore, so I'm not going to keep them. And so basically, I was saying earlier that the trolls have a major impact on the game. This is not for experienced players, of course. This is an advice mostly for new players. You can easily get yourself some trolls around this area. You can get your trolls from here, some fighters, but as you could see, they don't really compare to these guys. So you need to take that into consideration. As soon as you get your chance to get some stronger trolls, don't hesitate. If there is an event like it was now, and I could easily get my hands on this, the Tiger's Truncheon and the Dead Woman's Tresses, you can actually go and take your trolls quite early in the game. The only reason why I didn't go because I wanted to take it slow and show some other steps. Now I am going to visit a boss that I didn't visit yet in the unnamed city. And this time it's a ghoulish boss. a weak boss. No, this is him. Yeah, he is bigger than the other ones. See? So these guys are annoying because they can actually add corruption to you. I remember well. As you can see, you can actually deal quite a bit of damage to my skulls. But sadly, it's not his of today. Now let's see. He was decent enough to drop the Sword of Chrome. I think this used to be a lot stronger before. And again, what I mentioned earlier, you can easily get yourself dragon powder from here by killing these guys instead of actually having to make it yourself. Now, one of the issues I have right now is that I'm out of a torch. I will just have to deal with these guys as good as I can, but okay. Yeah, so basically you can always use your map, and if you've explored the unnamed city or the area you're in, then it won't be so hard, even if it's dark outside. Fortunately, especially on easy mode, on civilized settings, sorry, it's not such a long night, so you don't have to worry that much about not being able to see. Now, I do have some plant fiber, so now if I could just grab a piece of wood, that would be perfect. And now I've seen some... Oh, nice. Fifth arch from the west, look inside. Okay, that's the west. This is the fifth arch. Should be something inside. Might as well check it. Okay, so there is some tree over here. If I remember well, this one only has branches or dried wood. Yeah. In order for me to actually get this, I need normal wood. Okay, so let's go after that. Arch. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So, how are you? Yeah, so these guys, just like skeletons, will give you some decent experience. Sadly, they do have more hit points, so they're not so easy to kill, but they also give some decent resources.
But I will.
Okay, let's see. So this should be the fifth arch from the west, if I'm not mistaken. And I should look inside it. Just gonna have a look from the distance. Maybe there's something up there. Okay, nearly broke my head over there. Honestly, I don't see anything special over there. Sadly, there's no entrance. You can jump inside it, but I'm not going to risk it now. Okay, so next place over here. We're gonna go dragon hunting. I have been to this place before. There are some baby green dragons and a big green dragon. Fortunately, if I was able to beat them with my previous followers, with these guys it's going to be even easier. So, still need to find a place where my trolls don't end up in the ground. So they're definitely dealing with a lot more damage than the one before. Not careful, as you can see, this guy is not messing around. He did manage to deal a little bit of damage to my troll, but not that much. Again, he is also a good source of dragon powder. You can also obtain this, the green dragon head, if you want to have it as a memory.
Your death will be as meaningless as your life.
Okay, so as I said, one excellent source of leather is to actually hunt the dragons. It's proving to be quite nice for me, especially now that I have the star metal pickaxe. Let's see what's next on the to-do list. Okay, I might as well go this way this time. Okay, over here there's another camp of the relic hunter treasure seekers. I'm not gonna mess around with them. I'm gonna go straight away for another boss. No, I don't remember if this one is actually dropping the key or some equipment. Yeah, so as you begin the game, again for unexperienced players, at some point you meet one of these, the bat demons. This is basically where they come back, where they usually live. And even more, it's not just them, they also have a, let's call him or her, a leader, the Batman boss in here, inside the aviary. Yeah, one of the annoying things about the aviary is that there will be interruption while here. These guys will take the job very seriously, so they should finish it quickly. And grab on to some of the things you find over here. You can interact with this to get some lore. Okay, so apparently it's dropping armor pieces. Again, not bad.
Our beasts feed themselves as they travel. They are intelligent enough to never lose their way.
Some
like you, bonded one. They make excellent
perfected lighting padding. That one is quite useful, especially if you want to forge light armor. That's epic. Okay, skeletons over here. Again, the most annoying part is not their damage, it's the fact that they're flipping you and it's actually making you stagger for a long time instead of being able to kill the enemy. Okay, so yet another boss will be over there, right over here. This is one of the skeleton bosses, I think it is called the Commander. And as you can see, he does have quite a few troops to order around. Now, these guys can actually be quite annoying. If you manage to do this, take half of them at a time, it's even better. Again, it's not that they're dealing a lot of damage, it's the fact that they're making you stagger with those crippling attacks. The good thing is they will drop quite useful things. Okay, now this is even better. I actually managed to get all the skeletons out before fighting the boss. But these annoying little skeletons don't give up. And so, as you can see, either myself or my trolls, they're not doing that much damage, but they're simply making the fight a lot longer with the crippling effect. Okay, now that they're gone, it's time to go for the one I actually came here to see. And it's this guy, the commander. Now, unlike the Keeper of the Flame, this guy has a double-handed sword, great sword, so he will actually deal some extra damage. Fortunately, he's not that dangerous. He does have some treasure he's guarding. Okay, so this one wasn't all that good, but this one is quite nice. Okay, so this. So they are decent, but I'm not taking them since I can already craft better versions. But once again, if you want to come here early in the game, you can just run past him or make him chase you. Let's say you can make him and the other skeletons chase you around here, and you can go over there and grab everything that's in the chest, use them. So once you went to 1, 2, maybe 3 playthroughs, you can easily do those things unless you are already used to the system. Okay, so I would have been happy about this, but there's only one fault to it. It's double-handed, and I don't like double-handed weapons. Okay, let's see. I'm going to play with the Keeper of the Flame again. Hopefully he'll be nice enough to drop something good. The Pikachu is weighing me down. Okay, so there's definitely something that's weighing me down. I don't have any idea which one is it. Anyway, let's go forward. If you want, you can fight more skeletons over there. In my case, I'm not interested in them. I will go inside this place though. So here you have the War Maker, Lyle. You can interact with him, talk to him a little bit.
I smell the age's turn.
Tell him he's annoying. You can go inside this place. Now, as you can see, there's lots of corruption inside the citadel of the Triumvirate. You can interact with that tablet, get some knowledge. Once you get inside this place, there will be some cobras. So be ready for them. They are not the real enemy. The real enemy is this guy, the snake of Seth, or the giant snake. Again, there's also going to be some cobras. The reason you want to be careful when it comes to these guys is that they're actually quite good with dealing poison damage. As you can see, I took quite a little bit of damage over time due to that poison. There's a sandstorm outside, so we'll get this on. Yeah, just in time. Okay, so sadly, as you can see, it's dealing poison damage. This guy can actually damage your trolls quite a lot, so make sure not to lose them. Oh, he's dead. Okay, so they actually... Whoa, I wasn't expecting this. I've never seen trolls receiving that much poison damage. Yeah, so this guy will have a lot of demon blood. If you need some, he is your man. He also has the serpent venom glands. I don't need them. I have to get these guys to heal first. Okay. So I'm actually shocked on how much HP they lost. But to be fair, I was mostly wasting time with the small cobras. Otherwise the fight would have been finished a lot faster. Yeah, so these basically look like the best version of the set altars. Something like this one. Yeah, when it comes to this room, it's not necessarily extremely special, but on that side and this side, you have these altars. You might find the loot chests. Most of the time they have plenty of gold, or they have the coin purses. So feel free to loot them. Again, plenty of things once again. So yeah, this is mainly for gold, if you need any. Yeah, the bad thing is that you will gain corruption while being inside. So make sure not to gain too much, especially since the enemies are quite annoying with that poison damage. Okay, fortunately the sandstorm is over. Okay, these guys are nearly so we can go for Mr. Flamekeeper again. Then over here at the top you can already see another boss. I'm going to go after him too. It's kind of hard, well, tricky to get to. Can't actually get some stairs to him. Need to climb up. Sadly, unlike other games, when you level up or your followers level up, your HP doesn't get full automatically, so I still need to wait for these guys to recover. Although, to be fair, they're doing quite well. But they don't really have that much food, so I am starting to be a little bit concerned. I'm going to leave the other fights for some other time. Okay, so since I'm here and I don't want to waste too much time because my friends over here don't have food, I am going to the spawning pools. The reason why I'm going there is to play with the red mother. And that's exactly the main issue why I'm going there, the torches. The red mother, or as I call her, the mother of dragons, is basically the strongest dragon in the game. Well, at least in the outer world. Zombie dragon is a bit stronger than her. But that's in a dungeon. And she's actually nice enough to sometimes drop a really good torch. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so one of the secrets to actually taking down big beasts is adding some bleeding or other damage over time. So I'll just use the guys to draw her out and then deal my damage. As you can see, she can be quite good at dealing fire damage. Fortunately, it's not working as in other games. It's not damage over time by that fire. So she does manage to turn around and deal a lot of damage though. Okay, so we might not be able to survive her. When I get myself over here, I also bring some poison. Ah, down. Very good. Oh. So as long as one of these guys doesn't go underground, we'll be able to quickly get rid of her. So basically her attacks, if I'm not mistaken, are the same as a red dragon has. Only they deal a little bit more damage. this one. Unfortunately, she's not invincible. Well, not my trolls. When it comes to me, she might be. And that's her going down and me starting to cry because I didn't actually get what I wanted. This one is not bad though. Has a regeneration effect. And most of the resources she dropped are quite nice. Okay, so apparently we can also fight Mr. Flamekeeper again. Again, over here next to her you might find some resources. Sometimes there's an ancient relic over there, and that one can actually be very valuable. It can contain another fragment of power. So again, I am out here without no light source, and I hate it. Sadly, there's no normal wood in here. It's only dried wood, so that's the thing making it harder to cover my torch. I'm hoping to get the torch from her, but apparently I'm not that lucky. Okay, again, if you are somehow even half lost, you can simply watch the map. You should get to your destination. In my case, it's a bit easier since I already know the map. As you can see, close to you, you will still have some visibility, so you don't need to worry that much about it. Now, in order to actually get some more visibility, I need to go around the corner, and the Keeper of the Flame is not making things visible. It's actually quite bad, to be honest. I was expecting that flame to give me some better visibility. Fortunately, you can actually lock your target on the enemies, and you don't have to see that much. Yeah, so as you can see, you can actually find some dye. I'm gonna take that and decorate the equipment of one with my trolls. So now I just want to kill this guy, and then I want a little to visit the archives, spend my fragments of power at the library of esoteric artifacts. Once again, I am sorry, I forgot to bring some wood. I forgot how low my torch was on. Okay, so again, decent drops from him. This is actually very, very good because it's cold insulated. Basically, if you're, let's see how much protection does it have exactly. Okay, so as you can see, my normal helmet has 1 bar for heat, 1 bar for cold. This one actually has 4 bars for cold. The armor value on this one is quite good, and it can be enhanced. But if I would go for this one instead of this one, I would be losing that 28 extra health. It's not necessarily a big difference, so it might actually be good. Where the Pikachu was it? Okay, so these, as you can see, they're quite heavy. It's best to have them on a throw. Let's see. Okay, so they actually got to level 10. Not bad. That one is decent. This one, on the other hand, I dislike as a perk. Sacrificing strength for grit is not that good. Yeah, pretty much leveled followers decently, so I won't stand to fight. Wait, leave me alone. As I said, I am more interested in actually unlocking some more pieces of knowledge. Basically by using my fragments of power. Yeah, so again, if you're a new player or haven't played yet and you're considering of playing, there are these, the fragments of power. They're usually obtainable from some of the world bosses, not all of them.
Do not be afraid, bonded one.
And you can use them for various things. As you can see, you can even unlock
for new knowledge.
a memory of oils for 5 fragments, but I'm not going to use them. If not, you can just come over here and learn some new knowledge. Basically, you will get the scrolls. Once you consume one of the scrolls, you will get a knowledge. In this case, it was fast elevators. Now I can actually craft them, and I don't have to worry about unlocking the actual knowledge, which was elevators. So I can skip that step. Of course, if you want, you can later unlock that one as well. Okay, let's see. Gravedigger, this is a spade. This is merchant signs. This is not necessarily important. Table leg is a strange weapon. Tablet of power is something that I actually wanted to unlock. The glasser, if I remember well, is a mace. Okay, so I did get a few extra. So Gravedigger is this spade. It's much more useful in the other map from the Conan Exiles, on the Sipta map. The merchant signs, basically these are decorations. If you make if you want your base to look a lot better, you can place them around for your tavern, for your for your whatever else you want. What the Pikachu did I unlock else? Okay, so I unlocked this one, the table leg. The glasser, it's apparently a set of daggers. But this is the most important, and I wanted to unlock it for quite some time. The tablet of power. It can be crafted from your inventory. It will cost you 5 fragments of power, but instead of the 50 knowledge points that they would give you if you consume them, and then you can reuse over here, it will give you 60. So basically you're getting a 20% bonus just by crafting that tablet instead of using the fragments. Yeah, so again, in this case, I'm just gonna run away and quickly get to my base. I've actually managed to accomplish a lot more than I proposed for myself. This wasn't necessarily slow-paced. I have been in the unnamed city before, so if you want, you can check some of the previous videos I made, and I have tried to get star metal before. Fortunately, I wasn't so lucky. Now this time I was actually lucky and got that star metal quite fast. I even got myself some new decent followers. Actually leveled up a little bit. Now we didn't actually get at least one mace, legendary mace, as I wanted to initially, but still I managed to unlock the tablet of power. I did manage to beat most of the bosses in the unnamed city, so again another bonus, and got a lot of valuable resources. So this actually counts as a great victory, to be fair, especially since I also had to travel around the map a little bit. Once again, if you didn't watch the first part of me getting from all the way over here to here, you can go back a little bit and you will see exactly how much useful using a horse to travel around can be. That journey would take quite a long time, especially if you would be like I am right now, with some corruption, making that stamina level go down even more than it usually is. But once again, I can't complain. It's been really productive, and considering how many playthroughs I've had, I don't think I've ever been this satisfied about an instance of playing, like a few hours like I did now. And so again, I do have quite a lot of pieces of equipment that need to be recycled. these, for example. Oh, I don't really use these, so I'm just gonna recycle them as well, so you can see even legendary gear can be recycled. It's not necessarily in the best things. Let's see. I don't need that head. Yeah, so I also got some skeleton keys, some more weapons, a lot of resources, even some potions. This one is actually quite useful. I also have the resources to craft it. Managed to grab them while in the unnamed city. I also got some dragon powder, which is excellent. Some dragon blood. This one is actually quite nice again, the crystalline head for golems. Yeah, even got some of these hats. Now, most of them are part of some sets, so you can even find the full sets at some point. Let's see. Oh, and another thing, I also got myself plenty of leather. Usually it takes quite some time to have it ready in a tannery. Yeah, so basically, as we can see, there's plenty of things, especially these, the light paddings. I'm not much of a fan of light armors, but at some point when I'm going to unlock some more, I will need these to craft it, so they're always good to have around. Stay here, please. Yeah, so one of the secrets when it comes to trials that I didn't mention, if you don't place them somewhere around here, like I did, and you just stop them with the follow or unfollow, they will actually go back to the previous location they were placed at. And in most cases, you don't want them to do that. Because right now, for me, it would have meant for them to go back here. And that's really not a good thing. Might as well get myself a second force. Yeah, so it seems that my weapon collection is growing. In fact, I could actually take these back to what I'm going to make my new camp over here, proper camp. I've actually farmed a lot of Cimmerian berserkers. They have the star metal weapons, so basically I can take their weapons, replace them with the legendary ones, and this way I can get even more star metal. Now this is one of the annoying parts, unfortunately, in a grindy game where you are looting almost everything, which is sorting out things once you're done. As you can see, I've also managed to gather quite a small fortune over here. It's not necessarily something incredible, but at the same time it's not bad. This is not part of the fortune though. This is definitely not part of the fortune. Okay, so these treasures are worth 500 gold pieces. Each of them. I have to actually specify that. If it was only one of them, then that would, if it was all of them, that wouldn't be so much, is it? Okay, so after long battles, I managed to fix my torch. I do have a preservation box, so this is actually where it comes handy. Now, this is used mainly as a storage. I'm not actually making many saddles. So I actually managed to save quite a few of these. That's not bad. Now, since this is probably one of the bases that I am going to come back from time to time, although I am planning to take this one away, this one away, this one away, and some of the trolls, I am going to leave a couple of things over here so I can still fix my tools and anything when I'm coming back. Yep, so then again, this was again quite productive. Finally managed to farm that star metal, although now I'm far away from that area. Managed to level these guys a little bit after actually finding some with decent chances of increasing their strength and vitality. So I'm quite happy with how they are performing. Once they get to level 20, they will be even better. But after all, we took out most of the bosses in the unnamed city, which is already better than expected. So thank you very much for either watching the live stream or the video once it gets posted on my YouTube channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.